And good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special Fantastic Four episode. I'm your host, Graphic Man. I am joined with Dr. Silverage.
And, hey there, gang.
We are going to start talking about the Fantastic Four. And we've probably done it before, but that's one of the perks about being old. You forget what you've already done. You get to do it all over again. So if this is a repeat to some of you, well, enjoy it just the same. We'd like to shout out to a fellow four-color fossil, Shannon. He has just dropped a video, and so be sure to go to his channel and check that out as well. So, good doctor, I hope you're doing fine today.
I am. Like I was telling you, I was just hanging around the house doing some chores and washing some dishes and whatnot. So you've rescued me from that.
That's my job. We're joined by Comic Book Frog. I was with him last night. We were doing a reading of the Jack Kirby DC book, The Demon, #1, over on Ingleting's channel. So be sure to check that out. I had a blast. I was nervous as can be because it's easy to host this. You know, if I mess up, no one cares. But other people are depending on me to speak these lines on the screen. And they gave me like 5 characters to do, and I lost track of who I was, and they had to tell me, you're on. So
I love it when they do that. I've caught quite a few of them lately when they do it, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
It is. Eric Breen was there, and a few others, and Puppet Teen, and of course England Teen, and Maranya. So it was a grand time. Go check it out. It was last night, and you'll see me fall all over the place. But the rest of them, they carried me pretty well. So
we'll have to check that out.
It was pretty good. It's kind of fun to read Bronze Age. Yeah. No, they do it really good. They do it really good. And Eric Breen will ad lib.
yes, he does. In fact, he was how I discovered that was because I was following where he went, different things that he had pointed out and whatnot, and I know he was on there. So that's how I started watching those. So they're a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun doing it. You can tell. That's half the thing. Somebody screws up a line, who cares? They're just having fun.
It makes you appreciate how much narration goes on. And many times as a youngster, I probably would skip a lot of the square yellow narrator boxes and get right to the dialogue where the action is. Yeah. But when you have to read it, you realize, boy, the writer, he's really getting in depth, and he's really taking this seriously, and he's using 500 words to describe, somebody opened a door, but it's so much fun, and I shouldn't complain, and I'm not, because today's comics, I don't think there really is much narration. They're trying to get away from words like meanwhile. Meanwhile is a great word. While this is going on, this is over here is going on. So, well, let me start off with a little Fantastic Four. When you're a youngster, when you see this, you've just got to get it. And I'm totally blown away by this. Now, and when you're like me, back then, there's no bags for these things. So you just got to make do with whatever you get. Yep. And if your parents order something and it comes with a big instruction manual and they keep that in a plastic, this is probably not, acid-free or, anything like that. But at least it was something and it fit. So if you receive something in the mail and it came in plastic, you, as a youngster, you would scavenge that and say, I'm going to make good use of that. But if you're wanting a condensed version of Fantastic Four, number 48, 49, and, of course, the first part of number 50, probably the greatest story, the Galactus trilogy. And, of course, more people are more excited about the Silver Surfer, but Galactus was, I don't want to say impressive, but he was impressive. So, but we'll probably get to that pretty soon. I don't know if you would just feel more comfortable with me just showing a few, and then we'll turn
Sure,
you
whatever you
loose.
want to do. Sure.
Here's number 6 of the Fantastic Four. So the Submariner shows up in number 4, and Doctor Doom shows up in number 5. And they thought, wouldn't that be great to have kind of like the first supervillain team up? And so we get it. And these first 10 are really hard to get your hands on, but I totally enjoy them. Here's number 7.
Yeah, that's a nice one too. I used to have that one too. Yeah. I always liked that cover. I don't know why. It was just something about it. I just like that layout.
And this was back in 1962. This is not downtown Portland, Oregon right now, but not that I'm making a political commentary. Here's number 8, the first appearance of Alicia and the Puppet Master.
Very nice.
And of course, they're not mint condition, but well, I've got the ball rolling. Would you like to show a few, and I'll get caught up on the chat here?
All righty. Just seeing those ones, man, I kick myself. I had all but the first 5, and then I wound up selling them, and I sold up through like, I don't know what I don't even remember which ones I start with here. I think in earnest now I have like from 42 up, but I have some before that I kept. I couldn't find it. I don't know it's got to be probably in with my Hulks, but Fantastic 412 with the first meeting with the Hulk and the Thing.
Yeah, because about a month ago, you came on this channel and showed Hulk. And of course, the Hulk makes a great appearance on Fantastic 412. So I bet you it's in that stack.
Probably
Hulk books.
Because I used to put if somebody if the Hulk guest starred in something, I would buy that book and I'd put it in the front of the Hulk long box. So in the front of all these boxes, I've got all kinds of whoops. Well, that's not good. I've got all kinds of guest appearances and whatnot. So hold on a second. Yep. I gotta straighten this out.
And in the meantime, if you're wanting to contact one of us, my email is on the screen, graphicman404@gmail.com. I've had a few people try to contact me through comments saying they'd like to come on the channel. And so here's the best way to do it. Get in contact with me, and I'll see what we can arrange.
All right. There we go. Oh, all right. Back at it here. So anyway, like I said, I wound up selling most of that first part of the Fantastic Four, but I kept some of the ones that I really liked or had guest stars or whatnot that I liked. I got number 25. Again with the Hulk and the Thing. Anytime they got together and throw down, man, I had to make sure I picked it up. So, and then number 26 with the Hulk and the Avengers showing up. And 28 with the X-Men.
Yes, the Mad Thinker.
Yeah. And then we jump up to 42. 43. Hey, they just did some great covers. Kirby did. I mean, it makes you really I want to know what happened to these guys. You know, I mean, if I saw this on the rack, I want to know. Yeah, there you go.
For those of you that can't find 43, and that was always my bad luck, the annual number 9 reprints that story. Yeah. And so many times I would insert this in the right after 42. So I found my old checklist. Oh, you got the good thing. Yeah, number 9. I found my old checklist, and I got all these I've had all these squares and a red dot for every book I've got in the collection. And that gaping number 43 and, of course, 48. Those were my two big difficulties finding. But
yeah, I mean, try to get that Galactus trilogy now, boy. I wouldn't want to try and have to fork out the money for that. You know, even in poor condition, it commands some dollars. You know.
Well, while Froggy's here, I just wanted to show you he's a big Vampirella fan. So what you missed the other day, Froggy, was Vampirella.
Oh, that's just so wrong.
I'm sure I'm going to hear about it now.
Oh, my gosh.
And I designed a book cover for Harvey Comics for that. So there's your close-ups.
That's awesome, though.
All right. Back to the Fantastic Four. I don't know if we're kind of going in order or not, but a great cover is 17. And, of course, it's a good Dr. Doom book.
Yes.
But the way they break that up, and, of course, it's hard to see the Invisible Girl, but she's on the top there. So. But a great Dr. Doom, trying to separate them and defeat them individually. And number 18 is the first appearance of the Super Skrull, where the Skrulls make their comeback. They started off in issue number 2, and they devise one of their Skrulls to have the exact powers of the Fantastic Four. And we'll turn it back over to Rod here. I just want to show number 19.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I really wished I'd have kept because of all the implications with the Kang, Immortus, and all that stuff.
And they hint that this is Dr. Doom in the past, or is it Kang, or is it somebody else?
Right.
So, yeah, I hear you.
I may still hunt that one down, but we'll see. All right, we're on to number 44 here with the Inhumans, and this is one of my all-time favorite. This is probably my favorite Fantastic Four cover. Is this one here, number 45?
Yeah.
I just love that cover, man. And it holds a little bit of a special memory for me because I got a copy of this the first time I got it from my grandmother. One of my uncles gave a bunch of comics, gave away his comics to my grandmother's sons, my uncles, and turns out they weren't comic book fans, so they didn't really care about them. Well, the next time we went up to visit, they told me about them, and yeah, I'll take them. I went home with like 3 grocery bags full of comics from the Silverage, and this was probably 70, 71, somewhere in there. And so they were in great shape and everything. But that one stuck out to me because I liked the Inhumans. I love teams and team books and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see another team. I knew the Fantastic Four through the cartoon on Saturday mornings when I first started watching them. Here's number 46 with more of the Inhumans. Another cool cover with Black Bolt. Number 47.
And now you cancel your subscription at 47, right?
That's it. I'm done. That was where I stopped. Why? Should I have kept going?
No.
That's right. We got number 48. The Coming of Galactus. And I still, whenever I read Galactus in a comic, when I read his voice or whatever, read the words he's saying, I hear Ted Cassidy's voice from the cartoon.
Oh, okay,
yeah. He had that deep voice, And to me, that will always be Galactus's voice. His number 49.
I have a variant of that. The kid that I got it from colored Sue's hair red, so.
Oh. And then we got number 50.
Yes. Which is kind of weird because this great story comes to an end, and oh, by the way, Johnny's going to college. Woo! And it's kind of odd. Hey, I'm gonna jump in for number 22, the Mole Man.
Very nice. Very cool. I love the shading and coloring they did on those early books like that. See how the thing is it's different colors and shaded.
Yeah.
I just love that. That to me, that adds depth to it.
A true rock monster. Another great Dr. Doom. He's got him trapped. My cover has a little problem here, but he gets them trapped and they're about to fall out of the dimension. And so how all our you see the bag, that's why, because of the it's not really worth a good Mylar yet. But the Infant Terrible in number 24. If you ever watched the Star Trek episode where they meet this guy called Trelane, and he's very powerful. He dresses like a guy from the 17th century, wants to do a lot of sword fighting with Kirk. And you find out later he's just a baby, and his parents come to take him away. This is the same story, basically, as that. This really is an infant. And I don't know if the writers of Star Trek copied this or just everybody else knew that story so well. You've already shown 25 and 26. These would be so much better if somebody else inked them other than George Bell. And for as long as I live, I'm going to spread the word that George Bell just about tried his best to ruin these. The great Kirby artwork is really muddied with George Bell. I wish they'd have had Mike Royer, Chick Stone, or Joe Sinnott, or even Dick Ayers. But number 27, the Submariner and Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Showing up in green.
That was a cool one too, yeah.
And to fit the thing on the cover. The thing's a little short in this one, but
that's awesome.
Oh, I'll go ahead and do one more. Here's 30, Diablo.
The cartoon version where they did the adaptation of Diablo there in 67 or whatever, that always stuck with me. So I had to. That was one of the impetus for me getting that particular issue when I was going through buying Fantastic Fours. Was I wanted to see what the real story was versus the cartoon adaptation. So, all right. So here we go with 51. Time to put a new bag on this one.
That is a great story.
Yes, it is. So, and then there's another great cover. And that is 54, yeah. I know a lot of people don't like the floating heads. I don't mind them. I always liked them. I liked them from the Justice League roll calls on the side, on the margins and stuff. So here we go with number 55. Silver Surfer is back.
We've skipped Black Panther, haven't we?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Those two got sold as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me show a few before we get into the 60s. Here's another Mole Man, number 31. And I believe the Avengers make a little cameo in this because this is happening in New York City. I think they show up and they're ready to investigate. And I could be remembering the story wrong. Reed stops them, says, "Give us a little time to work on this." And the Invincible Man, number 32.
Yes.
Which is the parent, the father of Johnny and Sue. Always like the thing there.
Hmm.
And 33, great photo cover by Jack Kirby, good background.
Yeah, little Atuma.
Reed figures out how to let them breathe underwater for a couple hours. What a great invention. I'm sure our Navy has benefited from that many times over. Number 34. You talk about a plot line of a guy wanting to control the world and mess with everybody. That stuff doesn't happen these days, right? No one's super rich and controlling everything. Number 36. The Frightful Four. The one team that could really beat the FF. My copy is a little faded. I always wonder where Medusa's hair is coming from. It must be a helicopter she's hanging from. And the thing is able to, look out the window, and the window ledge comes to below the waist. That was probably very dangerous back then. That's why your hotel windows don't open. 37. Behold a Distant Star.
Yeah, nice.
Highly recommend this one. That's why you should all go out and get 2 copies.
Yeah, very nice.
38. 38 leads into a great, probably a 3-part, 4-part, 5-part story. They get defeated. They lose their powers. And they come back to New York. And they are led by Daredevil against their arch rival, arch villain, Dr. Doom.
I just picked up a copy of that somewhere here.
It's going to be blurry, folks, but they started putting the MMM's logo where the thing is pointing like Uncle Sam, I want you, or whatever. And if you're really astute, you'll know that the thing, when he becomes the thing, he loses a finger. I guess the pinky and the ring finger kind of get together. But when Jack drew the logo, he draws a thumb and 4 fingers. So, and months later, somebody wrote a letter explaining, hey, Jack, you kind of dropped the ball there. There's number 40. So without their powers, pretty much for a while, they have to hold off Dr. Doom with the great help of Daredevil. I'm going to go ahead and run a few more here to get us into where you are. Here's number 41. The best villain right in between Dr. Doom is you keep coming back with the Frightful Four. There's just no stopping them. Great cover.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Number 42. And I think you've already got us up to, you're in 45. 44 and 45. All right, well, I'll let you jump in.
All righty. And,
and of course, Black Panther. Here, I'm trying to show it to you. 52. The Black Panther.
Excellent.
And 53. Claw. Which Claw would have been a great villain for the movies. They get the Black Panther movie, and the first thing they do is kill the Claw. So
yeah, I was kind of bummed about that myself. I
Yeah.
wanted to get the whole works with Claw. I wanted to see the costume. I
yes.
wanted to see the thing on his hand.
Yep.
I know they kind of adapted something to his hand or something eventually, but I was bummed that we didn't get the whole Claw treatment like this guy right here. And this is number 56. So,
Yeah, that's a great look he has. And the
yeah.
thing covering up his nose, they could have done that.
And then we got number 57.
Yeah.
If you look real close, the Silver Surfer is invisible. Why? Because somebody cut him out.
Oh my goodness.
So, alrighty. Grab another stack here. All right.
Which was that? What number was
that?
that? That was 57, right? All right.
Yes, that was 57.
That's what the server would have
Oh,
looked
so
like.
that's what it looks like. I've thought of taking a picture of a cover and from the internet, printing it out, and then putting it behind it.
Oh, yeah.
So I may yet do that. All right, we're up to 58 with another appearance by Dr. Doom. Another cover I like just because of the colors in it. This one right here.
Yeah, that was a strange thing. They're fighting Dr. Doom, and oh, by the way, the Inhumans are doing some stuff.
Yep. Another cool. There was so many cool covers he did in that first 100 issue run. Just tremendous stuff. And then we got number 61 with the Sandman.
You have 62?
Yep.
Okay. Let you show yours. When I first saw that cover, I thought, oh, that's the Silver Surfer coming in to save the day. But we won't reveal, I guess we could reveal, spoiler, who that is. That's Triton.
Yeah. Well, you got a better memory than me. It's been a long time since I've opened these up. Here we go. I got number 63. This one here.
Yeah, Sandman took off that little head covering he was wearing. You see his whole face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. All right. And then we got number 64.
Sentry.
Yeah. I just little things. I just like the way he drew sand and stuff around it. It just for me, little things like that, just make it that much better. You know what I mean?
And with all the time Sandman showed up, he should get a lot of good practice.
Yeah, really. Now we get a little Ronin action here with number 65.
Yeah.
Ronin the Accuser. And then the mystery of the year. What lurks behind the beehive? Number 66.
Good colors, too.
Yeah.
I always thought mine was pretty nice. And then I just now, as we're pulling these out, I notice in the corner box where the Torch's head is, I've got a tape pull or something. This is what I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
But, you can't win them all.
And the story, you still got the story. That's the way I looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
As long as the story was intact, that was the most important thing. And then we got number 67.
Yeah, I've often wanted to not cut them out with scissors, but cut out each of those. Like, you see where Reed and Sue are standing?
Yeah.
And animate them, make them look like they're dancing with a jukebox in the background, because they're in really weird poses.
Well, I can't say that when I was a kid that I didn't cut some of these covers out and use them as what would have been early action figures. Here's number 68. I used to do that to my Hulks. Number 69.
One of the best covers. Probably because of the torch. Good airplane in the background. Yeah.
I mean, it's just so many great covers. Here's 70.
And Sue is expecting. That's why she's got a little, I guess you call that a skirt or a skirt.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then 71. And again, this is one of my favorites.
It is
72.
probably one of the top 10 covers of these first 100. Unfortunately, the FF is not in there, except if you count the corner logo box. But you wish the Silver Surfer covers looked as good as that one.
Yeah, and you get
from his series. Yeah,
get the Watcher in the background, and I mean, it's just
the
tons of Kirby crackle going on.
Yes,
that's just an awesome book, awesome cover. So, all right.
Oh, and 73 is coming up.
Yeah, and this one here holds another special memory for me. Number 73.
I wish I'd have pulled it out. I've added to that cover.
Oh, really?
I put Underdog versus Crypto lined up. Well, Underdog's on the left, Crypto's on the right. So as just a gag, about years ago, I did that. But little did I know that Marvel would one day be buying up other properties, or Disney would buy them up and stuff like that.
This one here, I told you the story about getting the comics from my grandmother's house.
Is that one of them?
This right here, I saw it and I thought I put it amongst the bags that I took home. Got home, couldn't find it. So we didn't get back there for 2 weeks to visit. When we got back there, they had already gotten rid of all the rest of them. There was probably another 3 or 4 bags full of stuff that, they threw out. I actually went down to the street and looked in the garbage can to see if I could find anything. Nothing. I came back upstairs, and there was a comic book laying face down on one of the bureaus that they had. And I'm like, oh, please let it be. And I pulled it up, and it was this one here.
Wow.
And so it was just like, so yeah, this one is kind of special to me too. So
I'm going to go in tight on Spider-Man. I want everybody to see, me, that is the classic Spider-Man look. They didn't over-exaggerate his eye socket. He doesn't have his ankle dangling over his head.
Now, didn't somebody else draw that? It wasn't Kirby that drew that? Wasn't it somebody else that drew that on there?
I have cover artist Jack Kirby. Inker was Joe Sinnott, however you pronounce that.
Oh, I thought I remembered hearing a story at one point about somebody else. He couldn't get it quite right, and somebody else. In fact, it might have been Ramita. I thought
it could have been.
They said. I'm curious now. All right, 74. We got more Galactus.
Another great Silver Surfer cover, which too bad that couldn't have been on the Silver Surfer. I'm not knocking it. I feel bad for the FF. Yeah, bizarre that their faces are yellow. I don't know what they could have done differently, but it's great. It's just It's just bizarre. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's different, and that's, I think, was their intent, was something different. It would catch your eye on the rack. We got number 76. And 77. $78. $79. And $80.
Can you hold that up a little higher? Does it
Sure.
have a? Yeah, it has a little announcement. I'll show mine. See everybody at?
Oh yeah, down the bottom there. Yeah.
Retailer, see page 32. So that's right on the cover. Isn't that nice? Like, what's the
They
big
didn't
deal?
charge you extra for it.
No, what's the big deal? Why'd they do that?
It was 81.
There's a great cover. Great use of the red.
Here's another cool one.
You're being asked a question.
Does the A on your hat stand for No. I'm sure you recognize it. This is from Oakland A's. It was one of the coaches' hats from way back there. It's a throwback. When we went to Cooperstown back 3 or 4 years ago, they had some. And I wanted to get one because I always loved the Oakland A's colors. I think Finley was ahead of his time over there. All right. Another cool Dr. Doom cover, number 84. Number 85. And number 86. Whoops, there we go. All right, 87. $88. I always for some reason thought that was like a frog face on there when I was a kid. It just looked like a frog face.
And it's setting you up for the Mole Man.
And there he is, number 89, the Mole Man.
Yeah, if you like disorganized furniture, it's a great cover,
And then we got the Skrulls coming back, making an appearance with number 90.
Oh, yeah. The Torgo. Yeah.
And we go with number 91. The Thing Enslaved. How could they possibly get somebody as strong as the Thing Enslaved? I want to know. Number 92. And there we go with Dogo in the Arena of Death.
I hope Eric's still in there. I'm hoping he'll see number 95 when I get ready to show.
All right. Well, here's 94, the Return of the Frightful Four.
Yeah, not the best cover facially, for Reed and Sue, but great action. If you got number 5, go ahead. Yeah.
All righty. Number 95.
So what do you think that is? A very fine plus?
On this? On the
Yeah.
condition? It's probably very good to plus. Very good plus to fine.
Well, I hope Eric is able to view it. I think he's listening to this. Eric, I'd be curious of a grade on this. Now we have a stain, the orange stain, where the 15-cent price tag is. And I'm not saying it's mint, but I think it's, the corner, they're not totally sharp. But the reason I ask, I think you say, well, of course, with that stain. But the second cover.
There you go.
Has the same stain a little bit. But it might be a tad better. Of course, here I am just, with my ridiculous paws holding it. But I don't know if he would grade that a very fine plus. But so
alrighty.
I thought Reed here looked a little Bobby Kennedy.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
that's a stretch. Get it? Stretch. That's a stretch. So, all right, you got 96 coming up, or
96. Yep, with the Mad Thinker and his androids of death. Number 98 with 90. What was that? 96. Well, where's my 97? I'm missing 97.
Okay. Well, I got the creature from the Lost Lagoon.
Oh,
number 97.
I have it. I just don't know why it's not. It's probably one I put amongst the rack, and then when I take them out of the rack, I put them in a box and never get to put them back.
This is a young Franklin.
Yeah, there you go.
And poor Johnny, he's missing Crystal. This monster would show back up, I think, FF 128. That's by memory. I don't know.
All right, I got 98. Doomsday on the Moon.
Yes, before the moon landing of Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, Mike Collins.
And then 99 with the Inhumans. And then 100 anniversary issue.
Which is kind of a retelling, I think.
All I know is that they had the Hulk on the cover, so it was
yes,
that was a definite must for me.
Just for giggles, we'll show 101 because it was still Kirby, and they really got the thing crammed in there.
Crammed, yeah,
with his shoulders, so not too bad. Did you have any annuals you want to throw at him, or for example,
we can do some of those.
Here's number 2.
Yeah, my 1 and 2s, they sold. I sold those again.
Notice the title. They got every other color: red, bluish purple, red, green.
They did that with all of them at that time.
I think number 1 has that as well.
Because they did it on the.
Yeah, strange. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it on all of them that time. I think Spider-Man's like that too.
It's the colorist. Yeah.
So, all right. So, I do not have 1 and 2 anymore. Sad to say.
6.
But I do have number 3. So, Yeah, I always liked that one. That one I remember. I can remember seeing that down in my Rexall drugstore on the wooden rack down there. I remember thinking that looked awesome. Is number 3.
Yeah, and if you notice, that has Nick Fury and Sergeant Fury. But how can they be there at the same time?
It's a time thing.
It would just be Nick. Oh, and by the way, the Hulk and the Submariner on the cover, but they do not make an appearance. That's false advertising.
Believe me, I was bummed. I was extremely bummed. You're going to write them a letter of protest.
Yeah, buyer beware.
Then we got annual number 4.
Pretty good story and a good little reprint in the back of it.
Number 5.
Yeah, because you go through the first 100, and you go, where did Psycho Man show up? And you got to go to like an annual or a giant size to.
And I just love the 25-cent square bound ones, man. They're just very nostalgic for me. So love that. All right, that number 6. Okay, here's number 7.
Very nice. Except, do we have to make the Mole Man look all cheesy and hey kids, look at this.
I know. Look, he's holding up that little corner blurb there.
I guess
this one here. When I think of Silverage comic books, this is one of the first ones I think of because I remember getting this off the rack, and it's number 8 with the Submariner.
Great reprinting of number 1.
It's just one of those books that for me it's got the the bad guy, it's got the heroes and they're trapped, and so this one here, when I think of a typical Silverage comic book, this is one of the first that come to mind.
I'm not going to show mine because mine they've torn the title off, and I'm sure it was one of those books where we're going to tear the title off, we send it back to the distributor or publisher or whatever, and we get store credit for that. But then it manages to end up in my hands. So somebody went ahead and sold it anyway. They were supposed to destroy them. I'm kind of grateful they didn't. But whenever you get one of those, you go, "Oh, I've got a book that's illegal."
Well, there was a hardware store way back in the day, a couple of towns over. And we went there one day, and in the back on one of the end caps, they had like a metal shelving thing, and they had a bunch of comic books, 3 in a bag. And they were all ones with ripped off covers like that. So they must have clearly got them from somebody and was reselling them. It wasn't like they will put, official Marvel stuff or anything like that. It was just like 3 comics for $1 or whatever it was, So it was like, so when I think of ones that are ripped like that, that's the story that comes to mind. It's like, yeah, that's right. And you're right. It was like having an illegal cover, So you want me to continue on with the annuals?
Yeah. Do you have number 10 specifically? But of course, show the rest if you have them.
I have number 10. I've got a variant of cool. It. It's the one with the invisible cover.
Oh, unfortunately, I wanted you to see the cover. I didn't grab mine. We had talked about the first 100 issues.
I just not too long somewhere here. I did finally get a copy with the cover.
The joke is, and people can look this up on their own, FF Annual 10. We talked about number 3 having the Submariner and the Hulk on the cover, but they weren't there at the wedding. On number 10, they have the Submariner as one of the villains crashing. A totally different cover, a nice cover, But once again, they're bringing the Submariner. He wasn't there. It's just
bait and switch.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch. So, well, this was number 9. Here was number 9, which we showed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, then we got.
And I think that number 9, if you're having trouble finding some of those old ones, it reprints 43 and the Wedding annual number 3. So the Wedding shows up in annual 3, annual 9, what we're holding here, and annual 10.
Yeah.
You got that Wedding 3 times. So anyway, just side note for those that are keeping score at home.
Here we got annual number 11 with the Invaders showing up. And number 12. I don't know how far you want to go into the annuals.
That's up to you.
But
we were on the phone, kids, talking. Hey, well, let's show some Fantastic Four, and you can see the good doctor has gone ahead and decorated behind him. He's moved his Fantastic Four to the front. Very nice.
Right. That's right. Got to represent. And then is number 11. And I think from
I think it's 13, right?
13. I'm sorry. Yes.
That's cool.
1978. So, and here's one from 1979, number 14. So, I don't know. I know they say the Bronze Age goes into the 80s, but for me, I always said 80s was a cutoff. So, I don't know if you want me to continue on or you want to show some other stuff. Like I said, I post some other stuff if you wanted to look at it or whatever you want to do.
I agree. We're eclectic collectors. We collect all kinds of things. Are you prepared to show that comic you showed of the dwarf? You showed that to me off the air earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Let me just see if here it is. Buried it. Yeah, it's part of a series from Super Comics called Danger. And this is number 12 right here. I just got this yesterday. It came in the mail. And this character right here is, I guess, called the Black Dwarf. I'm not familiar with the character at all.
Does he have any superpower?
I'm not familiar with the character at all. I haven't even read the story yet. So, I literally just got it yesterday. I bagged and boarded it this morning.
Yeah, I kidded you off the air that he's going to break his ankle when he hits the floor from that high a jump if he's not careful. But
so
yeah, I don't know if you could print that these days.
Yeah, I don't know. It said, yes, the rumor is true. A warning has been sent through the underworld. Be on guard. The Black Dwarf has returned. So evidently he was around and then went somewhere, and now he's returned. So
and people were talking about it. The rumor is true.
Like show some Daredevil,
which had the Fantastic Four on the cover. So yeah, that ties in.
Yes, and Spidey. Yep. So I like that red and yellow costume. I know a lot of people don't, but I did. I like that. So what do you want to do?
Out of the ones we just showed, if we were to rank them, Obviously, you got to say 48, 49, 50. Their origin, probably the top stories, like FF1, and then 48, 49, 50. 51, where it's the other guy impersonating the Thing, sacrificing his life at the end because that's quality story. The amount of villains Kirby was able to come up with. Black Panther starts off, looks like a villain, but the Inhumans, the Mole Man, Skrulls, Mr. Miracle.
Just the world building that he created was awesome.
Yeah, somebody's going to be mad at me because I just now mentioned Doctor Doom. I mean, I probably should have been the first one, but and to bring back the Submariner and get some good mileage and traction out of that old character, just unheard of. And of course, I think everyone despised the Impossible Man in Fantastic Four number 11. Later, he might kind of grow on you a little bit, but it was an odd book.
Yeah, I don't know. He never grew on me.
No.
He was to me. He was like the precursor to Deadpool character or something. I'm not a big Deadpool guy.
No, I'm not.
I did enjoy the movies. I gotta admit, I enjoyed the movies, but the character in the comics, no, I'm good, thanks.
So then we get the Red Ghost and the 3 apes that go up in space with him. This is like later for the Hulk. You had a great team called the UFOs.
Yes.
Which were like a Fantastic Four.
Right.
But the Red Ghost in issue number 13 with the Watcher, great character as well. The Mad Thinker. I mean, you see how much I'm naming, and I'm sure you could name 30 more as well. But utilizing the Wizard, Sandman from Spider-Man, and Paste Pot Pete, Medusa, and they don't even bother to explain how Medusa is bad, and then she's one of the good Inhumans. I think in the 1990 they came out with a book called The Inhumans, number one and only issue, and it kind of told the story of Medusa, like losing her memory, becoming a thief in France. And the Wizard finds her, joins the Frightful Four, but then she kind of snaps out of it, whatever. And the Inhumans were a trip.
I always liked the Inhumans. My favorite Inhuman was Triton. I just loved his look, and I thought it was interesting. I got a little Triton action figure, which I didn't know they even made at the time, So I mean, it was a lot of fun whenever they were in the book for me. I really, really enjoyed it.
You get into the like issue number 64 with the setting up the Kree. 65 is Ronan. But you're getting into an area where I think Kirby realized I'm coming up with tons of great characters. Even Lockjaw, the dog for the Inhumans, great character. And he slowed down, and we just kind of, let's bring back the Mole Man. Let's bring back this guy, the Mad, or the Puppet Master. So I don't know how early he was planning his jump to DC Comics, but those first 108 or 102, or wherever you want to cut off, because later in 108 they use a Kirby story that they already had drawn, halfway drawn, and a little confusing. But yeah, the first 100 issues are a must-have, I think, with the first 4 or 5, 6 annuals, I guess. You got to have those. But
Now, what was your first issue of Fantastic Four that you ever saw?
It was that one I didn't show you because you were doing we were looking at yours pretty much, but I told you about it. Number 49. I got it from a kid when I was just a kid.
Well, that's a heck of a first issue to see.
But there's the red hair of Sue. And
yeah.
No, she's not too bad but she's like Jean Grey here, Marvel Girl.
Yeah.
But that was my first exposure to the Fantastic Four. And then not too much later, I was able to pick up, of course, the Treasury.
Right.
And
I remember the Treasury.
With a detail. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was those first 3 or 4 of those treasuries, man. They were so mind-blowing for me as a kid. You know, I remember seeing them at the old IGA food store. We used to go. Every Wednesday night was shopping night, grocery night. And I would be, my babysitter while they got the groceries was the comic book rack at the front of the store, you know. And when they came out with those, that first Spider-Man one with the bright red and orangish cover and everything, I mean, I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember that one. I remember the Thor. I remember the Hulk, you know, and the Avengers one. You know, those all stand out to me, and I've got almost all of them. I'm still working on a couple of them. So when you first open up your Treasury, you see I'm trying to show you all the characters. I'm doing a lousy job. There's Atuma and the Inhumans, and there's Sandman. You got all this great art on the border, and your first story is FF number 6, which I showed much earlier. So you're looking at that as a kid going, wow, that is some cool stuff. And what is going on? What's she running from? You know, and stuff like this. So you just got to read it. Now, where did you see it? Where did you see the first Treasury that you saw? That one there.
Well, we here in this part of Missouri back in the 70s, we just had tons of good yard sales, garage sales, whatever you want to call them, at great flea markets. And it's kind of before we even saw a comic store.
Oh, yeah.
People had this type of stuff. I remember being exposed to Frank Robbins' artwork from a Detective Comics, the one where he's playing suicide or Russian roulette, and has a Mike Kaluta cover, but mine didn't have the cover. So I'm seeing stuff like that. I'm seeing the Invaders. I'm seeing Fantastic Four, Iron Man. And of course, with my funny animal, tons of Popeye, Donald Duck, things like that. But as a little kid, you're looking at, my goodness, it's a monster, you know? That thing is a monster. And so you really get figuring this out. Here they are fighting in outer space. It's just to imagine an entire building, the Baxter building, which I titled our episode tonight. The Baxter building is lifted up and then somehow magically returns back into the same spot in orbit.
And like nothing's wrong ever happened, right?
This one also went on to FF number 11. And there you see Mr. Impossible. And there he is. Everybody you're like the Thing. You just want to punch his face. He's quite the character. Stan Lee loved this character. But, you get inside the Baxter building where they're all chit-chatting. The Thing has turned back to Ben Grimm for a little while. Let me go back a page. Because he would turn back into Ben from time to time just to remind you. And some people are getting fan mail. Well, some people are writing in fan letters And this is probably Stan Lee's way of saying, you people are mad at the way I am writing Sue Storm, and you want her to be a little different. So here you have Ben Grimm, top left there. He's pointing the finger at you. They're breaking the fourth wall and talking to us, kind of telling us, how dare you pick on Sue. And, Reed's going to point to the statue and he's going to wax poetic. And they're lecturing us for complaining about Sue. And so FF number 11 is not one of the fans' favorites. I think it's like, out of 1 through 100, it'll be come in dead last probably. You come with this great splash, I believe by John Buscema, and so it introduces you to what was going on in the 70s, pretty much. But then you finally get into the Galactus story, and this is worth getting the whole book. When the story ends with Silver Surfer leaving, of course, FF number 50 has Johnny going on to college, but they don't bore us with that. There's your diagram of the Baxter building. And I've tried many times when I was a kid to draw this scene. Thought it was a good profile for all their faces, but it wasn't Kirby, but it was modern for that time. I can't recommend these enough. Now, this might cost you $100 today. They're hard to find. But dare I say it, I'd hate to tell somebody spend $100, but probably worth every penny.
I was lucky. I went probably, I think it was 2017, and went to the Boston Comic-Con, and there was a fellow there selling a handful of them, $20. $20 each. And I picked up that one there for $20. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
It's not 2017.
Oh yeah, that's great. That is a great price.
The Treasury 2017. It was the same convention that I had Stan Lee sign my Hulk #2, and I got a Green Lantern, Green Arrow book, the second half of the Drug story. Signed by Neil Adams as well. So it was really my first time going to one of the really big conventions, and it was a birthday gift from my daughter. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think Spectator was commenting that the not a bad coloring job.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I think that's what he was talking about, the red hair. But I think I'm a little older than Spectator. It wasn't him that I got it from, although he is a Missourian. But I don't know who I picked that up from. When you're a kid, you swap everything. We're trading Hot Wheels cars for books and you name it.
I didn't have anybody else to swap comics with because there was nobody around that I knew of in the neighborhood that was into comics. You know, they were into Hot Wheels and stuff like that, but I didn't know any of them into comics. So,
well, it worked out good for me. My friends were into Superman, and I was into the, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and so we could kind of trade relatively with ease. If ever I'd come across some Batman or something, what's Eric saying? Well, maybe, Eric. Maybe.
Bengals getting drilled. I used to root for the Bengals too, Eric. I used to root for the Bengals. When they changed their helmets, what was it, 1980, I think it was, when they changed to the striped helmets, I said, oh, those are cool helmets, so I'm going to root for them as my secondary backup team. So I was always Patriots first. And then they became my second team right up to about a couple of years ago. So, and now that Tom Brady's with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are my second team behind the Patriots. But when they play the Patriots, they're my first team.
Yeah. So when they changed their helmets, I guess that was Ken Anderson was their quarterback. Eric will correct me. But,
way back, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just so neat, something different that you hadn't seen, you know? And it was just like, oh, that is such a cool helmet, man. I'm rooting for them guys.
And they did pretty good in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. That was probably one of the better Super Bowls leading up to that point in time.
They were in 2 of them, I think. And that was
both of them against the 49ers, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they did much better than the Patriots did in those early days. What was it, 1986 Super Bowl for 86? I think they went up against that super Chicago team, you know, the Super Bowl shuffle and all that stuff. And the first 2 minutes of the game was great. And after that, it went right downhill. So we try to forget about that. I took my videotape that I made of it and destroyed that. And
if you're a Bears fan, the problem with that Super Bowl, the refrigerator, I think, scores a touchdown, but Walter Payton does not. And I guess it would have been great for him had he been able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the fridge was there. He was there, the face of the franchise, pretty much, with everything that he'd done. And of course, I had McMahon.
Yeah, they started putting the fridge in, and nobody's tackling him.
No, he's huge.
He dives into the end zone. The press started asking Dick, are we going to see more of the fridge? And I remember Dick was kind of funny. He said, you know, he can actually throw. And but they weren't going to have him in the shotgun, you know. But
no,
well, they might have done a trick play at some point. Where everybody's ready to tackle him, and he just does a little jump pass or something.
Oh man.
Well, Doctor, I appreciate this. This was great. I love talking about the Fantastic Four. Like I said earlier, we were getting ready to get set up to do this little stream, and I thought, did we already show Fantastic Four books? I don't remember, but I think it was the Hulk and the Fantastic Four number 12 you were showing. That may have made me. I think of my old days when I was doing this channel, I probably showed a bunch of Fantastic Four. But
yeah. Like I was telling you, I says I probably get more of a reputation as a DC guy because of the go-go checks, but quite a bit of my collection, probably over half, is Marvel stuff. So I grew up on both of them, DC and Marvel, you know. So I never gave much thought to the gold keys and any of that. They were there on some of the spinners, but I never. To me, it was just like, no, that's not real comic books. Real comic books are the superheroes, you know, that type of deal. I've long since come to respect and admire and appreciate them now. So,
yeah, even the romance comics are dynamite. And Eric just got a whole box of them, so he will be slowly showing us those as the days go by. But,
well, Eric, save any go-go checks ones. Let me see if they're ones I need.
I think he was lining a bird cage with some of those.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Spectator. Yeah. 73 is a great cover. Well, folks, that's about it. We're going to wrap up. If y'all want, go over to the Gray Man channel, and hopefully Jambo is winning.
Oh, they're getting ready for cover slingers?
I think they probably started a little while ago. But you go root Jambo on, and be sure to tune in Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do a little bit more scary. I'm kind of running out of scary, but the guys want to go one more round of scary books, and who knows what we'll do next. We don't have to always stick with the theme, but I sure get a kick out of it, and I hope everybody else does too. And Rod, you have a great rest of the day.
And you too, sir.
Everybody, don't forget to go see Shannon. Shannon has just dropped a video. I mentioned it earlier at the stream. I'm searching frantically for his picture. You go see Shannon. He just dropped a video about an hour before we started, and he's at work right now. He would have loved to have joined us. I spoke with him earlier. But anyway, everybody have a great rest of the Saturday, and we'll see you tonight. And let's go, Brandon. Everybody, have a good one.
Take care.